We've got the sensors plugged into the back. I'm a little bit nervous. We have to be going under 20k an hour. So let's do this. I'll just slow down a bit. So below 20, it means I can get into the settings here. Turns out we can't be driving at all. So I pulled over, go up here, initialize sensor learning. I'm nervous. Let's do it. Sensor learning initialized succeeded. I guess that's good. I think we've done it. Woohoo! We've got the tray all set on the Dmax. We're going to go about putting the front infill on. Once we've done that, we're going to push the tray as far forward as we can to make sure that we've got enough gap between the cab and the tray for the body movement. Then we're going to set it and we're going to bolt it all up onto the chassis of the car so she's all nice and ready. So as a standard on all GCI Traytec trays, we relocate the factory fuel filler up into our headboard. It's a very straightforward and simple system. All we do is use an in-house built factory fuel adapter to our fuel filler. We do that by using these two fuel clamps. Simple connection, really easy, and it works perfectly. Alright guys, we've made it. This is the 2021 Dmax with a GCI Traytec tray on it, including blind spot relocation. Let's get into it. So, Dmax, brand new one, 2021. This is episode 3 of our little build series we're doing. Obviously, you're going to notice it's straight up blind spot relocation. Still a prototype, so we're not 100% finished, but I haven't done a video for a few weeks, so it's time to give it an update. So we'll get to them right at the end, but let's do a quick tray walk around on this Dmax. So as it sits at the moment, it is 100% stock. We have not done a single thing to the car, so it's really important for us to proof our design of the relocation of the blind spots on a factory car. So yes, we will be doing mods to this, but for now, we have to proof everything on a stock standard car to make sure it works 100%. So on this side here, water filler, we've got a 36 litre tank underneath. We have the water outlet on the other side. We'll touch on that when we get there. Drop sides, as always, we've got the flush locks. These pull down both sides, and then our drop side comes all the way down. They do go almost flush, so that's as far down as they go until they hit the wheel guard. If you have a really large rear track, Basically your mud guards are gonna hang out further, which will limit how far your tray drop sides go down, but it is much better than just the 45, which you get from some other people. So yeah, really cool feature there. We've been doing these for a few years now, and yeah, really neat solution. Toolboxes, these are the standard GCI Traytec tray toolboxes, so you have to overcome that vacuum to pull that out. So it's a really good sign if you've got vacuum inside the toolbox holding the lid in so you can't pull it out. It means you've got a nice seal in there, which means no water, no dust is getting in. So as long as there's vacuum, they are as watertight as you can get in a toolbox, especially an under tray toolbox. So got our central locking going in. As I said, we're still in the prototype phase of this car, so it's not the finished article by any stretch of the imagination, but you guys, you want an update, so here it is. So pop that away, and it's really cool. As you close that, you can hear the air hissing out. Walking to the back, obviously we've got our new lights in there, so they're lights we've brought out. We'll include on every single tray basically this year, so since the start of 2021. Really neat. We haven't had any problems with them, which we had with a few of the other ones we used to do. So really happy. They look awesome. They're super bright in reverse as well. Surprised me. Obviously I've been saying they're bright, but I've been driving this car for nearly 8,000 Ks now, and they are all the light you need in reverse at night time. So really good. Reverse sensors, so they're the standard sensors we relocate. So we take them out of the bumper in the Dmax, and every car actually, and we mount them in. New Rams, we've got 6 of them now, so they go on the other side. Just wait for that train to go past. All right, tunnel drawer. Because this is a compact tray, haven't actually mentioned that yet. So the tray length is 1644 millimeters long, so we call it a compact tray. This is almost a direct replacement for the tub. So it's really important for us to start with the shorter tray, which we offer. There is another tray, which is an 1800. Not sure if we're gonna offer it on the Dmax. It will depend if the sensors work. So once this is all done, proved and everything, we're gonna rip all this off and then put an 1800 on and then proof all the sensor relocation again. So if the sensors won't work on a Dmax, we won't offer the tray because we won't supply a tray without the sensors working 100%. So worth noting. So all right, so compact tray, 1644 long. We've got the 36 litre water tank in the front, which means we've got a 1 metre draw. So 1 metre tunnel draw comes all the way out. Don't have a stainless bench on this one yet, but obviously I've done the weight test a few times, stood on them. You can actually see my footprint there in the powder coat. So obviously it does just come straight off. It's just dust, but I did stand in it the other day, which is really cool. We can put that away. So that's 125 millimeter deep, which is the only depth we offer in a 1 meter. Tuck that away, and it's really good to note as well, as you pull these in, the whole door sucks in further with the compression of those little latches. All right, so moving to the passenger side of this vehicle, it's the exact same as the driver's. Obviously we've got our toolboxes, overcome that vacuum as it comes out. So that's a really cool one. I did mention, so we've got diesel on this side here. We did actually have a little overflow filling this one up. So it was perfect the whole way up. So I had it high flow, 100% the whole way, literally about half an hour ago. All good. And then there was an airlock in the tank, which then bubbled up about, well, probably 10 seconds after. So I took the nozzle out, hooked it back up, and then it started going blah, 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 and then gargled out. So it was an airlock in the tank. So I guess we've always said go 100% until you click. It's probably worth, once you start hearing it rushing up the pipe, just stop, give the car a bit of a shake, and then any air which is stuck inside of your tank will be released and then come out, and then you can fill up the rest of that. At 100%, there's no problem going 100% full flow with the diesel high flow. But yeah, if there's an airlock in the tank, there's no amount of breather or anything that's gonna fix it. So we don't add any new breathers into the factory tanks, we just relocate the factory breather into our integrated breather in the filler neck. But yeah, probably worth noting, if you hear it rushing up, just stop, give the car a bit of a shake. Literally, that's probably all it needs. And then any air stuck in that tank, which is gonna come out by itself, will come out then. Nothing's gonna fall out, and then you can fill up the rest of the way at 100%, and it will click as it normally would. Water outlet, so this is the exact same panel as we have on the other side. We've got the water tap, here it is. Slightly different to our usual one. Absolutely hate using the excuse, but COVID, we can't get the other ones at the moment, so it's a crap excuse, but it is what it is. So that's our flow coming out there. So it's about 5.5 litres per minute at gravity fed. So that's coming straight out of the tank at gravity. So I've got no little tap like we usually do, but we can't get the other ones at the moment. So that's life at the moment, isn't it? So water outlet. All right, so blind spot sensors. As we mentioned in the first 2 episodes of this little series, we haven't done a Dmax here at GCI Traytec until now because of these guys here. So obviously this is the unit. It will obviously be all powder coated black, but we are in prototype mode at the moment. So the way we proved these sensors, so we have to make sure they work as per factory. So the first stage was to drive the car. I did 7,000 Ks in this thing, completely stock, so with a tub on it, so I knew exactly how these things work and what they're meant to do and when they beep. And trust me, this car beeps a lot. Like honestly, every time I drive it, 10 times it just goes mental at you. So look, if it was my car, I'd probably turn them all off, but we needed to prove it and then understand what happened and benchmark it. So first stage, once we relocated them, we had this housing, the outer housing on the aluminium was off. We also had the toolbox out, so we had to make sure that it worked in the position that we mounted it, and it did. So that was awesome. So the next step we did, we mounted our aluminium housing to make sure it doesn't pick up on any of the surrounds. Next step was the toolboxes. So we staged it in, because if these sensors fail, we've got no way of actually logging into the computer and figuring out what's wrong with them. They either work or they don't. So we had to step it up stage by stage, figure out if it was to break, what made it break. So luckily for us, we've got it first go, which is really cool. I guess it's all our sort of prior learning from all the Rams and the big US trucks, which have had these sensors for quite some time. So we had a fair bit of prior knowledge coming into it and what we had to do to make them work. But yeah, so far so good. So we're just under, I guess 1200 Ks we've done now, exactly like this. So next step, obviously powder coat them, and then the lens goes in, and that's the final product there. So by the time we get the next video out, these here will be done, they'll be integrated in. We've picked up on all the lines we possibly can to make these sensors as factory as possible, make it blend with the tray, and you won't even know they're there. All right, so tray length, 1644. One of the key reasons we've done this is tow bar position. So what's been stopping us putting massive trays on these vehicles is obviously the longer you go, the heavier it is, and the longer you go, the more weight you're gonna have rearward of your rear axle. The more weight you have back there, it's gonna absolutely destroy your handling. It's gonna be really bad. Load it up so much, you'll probably break your chassis. So make sure the trays are the right length for the vehicle. This guy here, so this is all factory, our factory tow bar. If I come straight down, we're just, I don't know, a quarter of the way through that tow bar with that tray there. So that there is a really close direct replacement to the factory tub. If you're towing every single day, it makes sense to get a shorter tray so you can hitch up really easily. If you do go on the extra or the longer tray, the 1800, it brings it out another 150 mil. It's gonna be about, well, no, there, which means this bar is gonna be completely underneath the tray. So hitching is still possible, you can still get it, but it makes it more difficult, and you're literally threading the eye of the needle with the trailer. And look, we don't want you to smash your tunnel drawer. So if you are towing a lot, get a shorter tray, keep the weight down, and yeah, you can't go wrong. So yeah, compact tray, 1644. All right, so 1644 compact tray, I've said that a lot in this video, but what does that actually mean? So we measure all of our trays in working tray bed. So that's actual usable space in the tray. We don't include the headboard in that. All of our domestic vehicles, so anything sort of that comes from Japan, Germany, or a 79 series, but Japan again, has 105 millimeter thick headboard. So let's have a look at that. This is the headboard thickness. That there's 105 mil. If you got an American truck, you've got a 200 mil headboard. So the 1644 is from this face, our headboard, all the way to the back of our tray. Total length bumper to bumper, add another 105 on, and that's what you're gonna get. So if we get a quote from us and you have your tray dimensions, that is physical working space of the tray, not from bumper to bumper. All right, so what's next for this vehicle? Obviously, this is the tray more or less complete. We're gonna proof these sensors 100%, so we're just gonna get the plastic in there, and then we are done. Then we can start talking about canopy and what we're gonna do. But for me, I'm off to New Zealand. I jump on a plane at 6:20 tomorrow morning, so I'm having a bit of a holiday. So look, we're gonna do a canopy on this. It's gonna be really cool. We were pushing to have everything done by the Melbourne show, which obviously has been postponed. So we do have a little bit more time now. So yeah, canopy on, and then obviously all the mods, the GVM, the wheels, the tires, the bars, the sliders. Everything we're gonna do to this, which we'll reveal later on, will happen sort of between now and October-ish. So we've pushed our timeline back a little bit, purely because of our old friend coronavirus. So guys, thanks for videoing, thanks for watching. We haven't read any comments out. We said we're gonna do that. All right, so I don't have my phone on me. I'm pressed for time, I've got to get out of here. But look, I'm gonna throw Tom under the bus. He's gonna read a few comments out, answer them for you guys. So let's get into it.
Thanks, Alistair. So yeah, as we've mentioned, we're going to, on the videos, try and run through a couple of the comments that come through, a couple of the queries and answer them for you. All right, so the first question comes from Eddie, which is a query on our F250 build we did, the Humble Giant. He said, did you guys do the bull bar and guardrails on the front? No, we didn't. We tend to just stick to our speciality, which is obviously just the tray and the canopy portion. And anything like your bull bars, your front winches, that's going to be taken care of elsewhere. Next question from Yushin Kim, saying thanks for the explanation, it was easy to understand. I think this was on the video that Alistair did, outlining the water tanks and how our modular system fits together. And Yushin said, did you include the weight of the water in the tray weight? No, we didn't. So all the weights that we give out are dry. Whether that's in a video or if we're going through a quote with you over the phone and working out weights there, always dry weights. And then obviously you need to take into account your water and fuel and things like that on top. So thanks for everybody for your comments. Obviously we are trying to answer a few as we go. Thanks for watching the video as well. Hope you really enjoyed Alistair's rundown of the Dmax, and keep an eye out for the next video. We'll see you all soon. All right.
All right guys, so that is how we build a GCI, make it blend with the tray and you won't even know they're there. Oh. All right, so we've always been big on not putting massive trays on cars. We've always been big on not putting long trays on a standard ute. The reason, or one of the reasons, besides the weight and the rear axle weight, or the...
Hey Tom. Okay, good chat.
Oh, the plants are amazing. They're going to make it. So thanks everyone for your comments. Thanks for all the comments we're getting on the